Joey, first of all, from the other night, the youngsters getting a chance, did any of them catch the eye and bring them into your thoughts for the weekend?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I thought, it was an exercise in terms of we don't have a 23s programme here, so we've kind of used the competition to see where the guys are, and I thought some of them furthered the case. We've obviously got some more debuts out there and got some of the younger players, more minutes. But I felt, in terms of performance, I felt, the way the lads had played on Saturday at Carlisle, that it was going to be difficult for those boys to displace them. Obviously, winning 3-0 and lads playing well and picking up no injuries. It was always going to be a tough task for the lads who were tasked with playing Wednesday to turn in a performance worthy of getting into the winning side. But they did do really well. Really pleased with it. Some key minutes on the board for some lads who've been chomping at the bit for minutes.
Yeah, and you mentioned Carlisle there. How much of a shot on the arm, if you like, was that win, that performance? Because it was a game you really needed to win, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, and for us it's about building that consistency now. So we've had a really comfortable win. It looks on paper in the end, but that was not the case. In the afternoon we had to scrap and battle and manage the game really, really well from certainly the start of the second half and into that period. And we know we can play an awful lot better. And this week we've been really focusing on trying to turn up and be more consistent, making sure that we deliver Bristol Rovers performance and one that is like the previous week's performance instead of the kind of Jekyll and Hyde stuff that we've had over a long period here.
Yeah, Junior Brown, is there an update on his fitness?
Yeah, Junior's just had a little bit of a tweak into that kind of intercostal part of his rib. He's touch and go. He'll run around this morning, but I think this game Saturday and possibly even Tuesday are probably going to come too soon for him.
Yeah, it's an important game, isn't it, as you say, because you want to get that inconsistency going. What sort of a game are you expecting from Bradford?
Really tough. Derek's a good coach. Obviously, Morecambe, first ever promotion last season. My first season, he was at Plymouth, and they'd been in the playoffs the year before, and obviously didn't have a good season that season. And they were always solid and difficult to break down. Very direct. Test you in all your fundamentals, and if you're not on your game, they can cause you lots and lots of problems. They had a great start at the season. It's maybe not been the best period for them recently, but they're one of the biggest sides in the division. There'll be a full capacity crowd there tomorrow, and that could mean 14,000-15,000 or whatever that stadium holds, and it'll be a tough place to go, and certainly they'll be testing us in those defensive departments. And as I say, it's important that we continue the good work from Carlisle last week and look to build on a really positive away performance at Walsall last time we were away from home. So look forward to the game. It'll be a very, very difficult fixture as it is when you play Derek sides. They've got some good players, and we'll have to be the best version of ourselves that we possibly can be.
Yeah, you mentioned they had a good start to the season, but they're not that far ahead of you in the table, are they? So, that shows you maybe how quickly things can change in this division.
Yeah, look, everyone's kind of beating everyone in our league. You've seen that the weekend with Swindon going to Forest Green and winning. So it's a very, very competitive division, and you've just got to, as I say, make sure that you reach your level of consistency and your level of performance. I think for us that's the real focus. We know we're more than a match for anybody should we meet our KPIs, and again, Saturday's game, we've got obviously a really strong opponent in front of us, but again, confident that if we deliver our performance and we play the way we can play, that we can cause any team in this division problems.
Yeah, you say there's going to be a big crowd there. They get big crowds at Bradford, don't they? What are your memories of Valley Parade?
As a player, none. As a coach, been there once, Fleetwood, I think, and we managed to grind out a victory. I think it was a quite hard fought 1-0. And at the time Bradford was struggling. I think Stuart McCall was the manager, no, it wasn't Stuart McCall, it was just another fellow with David Hopkin. And they were physical and tough that day, and we really had to work hard to take maximum points, and I imagine it'll be exactly the same. Obviously, Derek in there now, but again a competitive group. Andy Cook on the front line, and Janssen Ogo in the back line will mean that you get tested from set plays, and also, for us, we've seen enough, in the opposition to know that it's going to be a real physical encounter, and as I say, one we've got to stand up and be counted in.
Yeah, and just finally for me, you talk about that there will be a big crowd there. Can your players feed off of that energy, even though most of them are going to be against Bristol Rovers, but can your players feed off of that energy and that atmosphere?
I think we can utilise certainly the experience that we've got from our stadium, where if you go to a stadium and you manage to dampen and quiet down the crowd, a big crowd can very, very quickly become a bit of a weight on the home side. And I certainly think in the last couple of weeks, certainly the last few home games when we haven't been fantastic, we've kind of felt those murmurs from the stadium. And I expect Valley Parade will be the same. Bradford have had a decent start, but obviously the last few weeks they haven't been at the best, and if we can go there and make a good impact, certainly in the early stages of the game, then who knows, you might get a little bit of discontent, and that might be a huge factor for the Bradford players. But for us, it's about building on a really good away performance at Walsall and building off the back of a really good home performance, albeit we probably think we were 2, 3, 4 out of 10 in the Carlisle game. We think we've got lots of improvement to come, so that's good signs. It's not like the boys are thinking we're flying, and so far this season I don't think we're yet to hit our bootstraps. At some point during the course of the 46 games you'll drop in and you'll go on a little bit of a upward surge and an upward run. The sooner that happens for us, the better. But again, we're building piece by piece, performance by performance, and it's going to take time.
Good luck, Joey. Thanks for your time.